Hey guys, it's me Baden here. Thought I'd do a video round 18 of the AFL tipping, and yeah, this is the final round of the AFL season, so this is a pretty big occasion. Hopefully I get the majority or all of my tips right. Let's get into it. Okay, so the first match of the round is West Coast Eagles versus North Melbourne, as you can see. I'm going to tip West Coast Eagles by 45 points. It could be less than that, honestly. I could see a reality where North Melbourne put up a bit of a fight to send their fans off with a bit of hope. But to be honest, there's not really much hope that they can take out of this season. It's been a disaster for them, really. So I see West Coast beating them quite comfortably, sending them off out of 2020 in a body bag, really. So poor North Melbourne, but that's just the reality they face. Next match of the round is St Kilda versus GWS. As good as St Kilda have been all year, and they have potential to do amazing things, don't get me wrong, I feel like GWS have to click into gear. It's now. It's right now, because the whole season, during finishing off this last half, I was saying to myself, please God, let GWS lose. And they were doing it over and over again. And I was like, you're giving Fremantle more of a chance to make the 8. As a Freo fan, I love that. And I was like, oh yeah, got a chance here. But then they, a certain team gets a win and blocks off the 8. So Freo can't make the 8 now. So now that means I can go for other teams. GWS need to get into gear. I know St Kilda haven't been in finals for years, but St Kilda, even if they make the finals, they're not going to go all the way. They're not going to go very far. They will maybe make a semi-final, if lucky. If lucky. And if they do, they'll be eliminated in that. They will not make a prelim. If they make a prelim, that's where they get eliminated. They will not go to the grand final. I swear, I put my house on it. St Kilda is the most inconsistent side I've seen in ages. They're like the Bulldogs. They're like Carlton. They're like Freo. They're like all those sides like Essendon. They're just as bad as the rest, even though they're in the 8. They got lucky this year. They got lucky. Next year, it won't be the same. It won't be the same, I swear. So GWS finally click into gear. And GWS will probably beat them by 20 points. Something. Jeremy Cameron will have a day. They're all going to click. They have to click. If they don't, I will never, ever, I swear, I will never give GWS, that club, a chance again. Never. Never. Next game we have is Essendon versus Melbourne. Look, as bad as Essendon is, I think Melbourne are going to lose. They're going to lose to Essendon because Melbourne as well, inconsistent side. Their fans haven't been happy for a long time. Their fans, they're going to watch these games, this last game, and they're going to be like, what the fuck? What happened to our club? I just have that feeling, that gut feeling that Essendon's going to get their win. They're going to silence all the critics, because the critics all week have been bagging out Essendon, going, oh, this club's a basket case, and they're so bad, and they've got to rebuild and all this sort of thing. Because I've seen it all week. The news have just been dragging their name in the dirt, just having them be the target of the AFL. And same with Hawthorn, both of those clubs, and North Melbourne. And I can just see clubs like GWS, Essendon, a couple sides will actually respond. North Melbourne won't, but I feel like Giants will, and Essendon will. Because Essendon has the capability to beat Melbourne. They've done it before. They can do it again. It's not completely out of the question. Melbourne aren't a world beater. My boys Fremantle beat Melbourne. They beat them at Cairns. And this game's at Metricon. Essendon, if they bring some fight like they did to the Eagles, they'll overrun Melbourne. I feel like they will. If they do that, they're going to overrun them and they'll win. So I'm backing in Essendon for one time only at the final round, and they can send their fans home happy, and Melbourne will be sitting there going, well, fuck me. Not in the 8 again, which will suck because, for them, it's like they want to make the 8, but sometimes the harsh reality is not all teams make the 8. So, poor Melbourne, they're just going to miss out from a hungry Essendon that are pissed off. Next game, Richmond versus Adelaide. I so want to tip the Crows. I love the Crows. I've been loving what they're doing. I've been behind them, rooting for them week after week, watching them get these miraculous wins. They've even won me some bets. I've been so happy supporting the Crows at the last half of the year. I'm not a Crow supporter, but I've been very supportive of them because I hate to see a team do that bad where they're not getting wins and, they're struggling. And I know all about it because I'm a Freo supporter. So it's like I was just happy to see them get wins. Even 3 wins at the last half of the season. They're all close together as well. So it's like bang, bang, bang. It's like giving their fans something to be excited about for next year. And I'm so on board with that. And the best way for them to cap their year off would be to pick off Richmond, one of the hardest teams in the whole comp. And that would probably, in a way, make people go, oh shit, look out for Adelaide next year because, they might be a bit tough. However, as amazing as the last 3 wins have been, they have been against Hawthorn, Carlton, and I think North Melbourne. No, not North Melbourne. Who else was it? It was Carlton, Hawthorn, and someone else. I can't remember. But there's 3 wins, and they got these 3 amazing wins. GWS. That's right. I remember that. Yeah, 3 amazing wins, and I can't see them doing it to Richmond. I'm sorry, guys. I'm so sorry. Richmond are just too strong. They're too strong, man. Even if they're having a bad game, like they were having a bad game against my boys, Freo, they somehow find a switch, and they hit that switch every time, and they end up winning. That's just what they do. They win games. They win games even when they're playing like shit and not supposed to win. They still win. So Richmond will win. This one will be quite comfortable for them, I feel. And Adelaide will sort of go, oh, well, at least we won our last 3 of 4 games. And they'll be able to go into next year going, okay, well, that's something. But they'll be disappointed by not being able to take down Richmond. Right, next game, Carlton versus Brisbane. I could see a reality where Carlton upsets Brisbane somehow through wacky circumstances, mainly maybe to do with Brisbane's inaccuracy at the front of goals, then Carlton taking advantage of that. But let's be honest, guys, Carlton's a fucking basket case. This club is so... I can't even believe. This is one thing that annoys me about Carlton, right? They should not have beat Fremantle. That's one thing I'm going to say. Fremantle should have hung on. I know they're under siege a lot in that game, but Fremantle should have hung on. There was 11 seconds left. They had the ball at the boundary line right up the ground, and they decided to call some bullshit free kicks down the field, and it was like, oh my God. And, in that sense, they ruled themselves, not only just themselves, but they ruled us out of finals because of that game. And yeah, they gifted themselves a win, but at the same time, they're inconsistent. Like, Fremantle have been way more consistent than Carlton have been this year, and their efforts are just poor. Like, it's been terrible, and I don't want to be ragging on them and comparing them to my boys, but I feel like I can kind of compare the two because they are a bit similar. Like, over the last couple of years, they've been a bit similar, but Carlton just haven't been adapting to this rebuild. They haven't really been. It just seems like they're constantly in a rebuild. Like, they're not actually getting anywhere with it. Like, yeah, I know they brought in Teague and such positive signs, but now it's not. It's not anymore. That honeymoon period is gone. Like, they're in a fucking, I don't know. They're just tied. Their hands are tied. They can't do anything. So Brisbane are quite. They're going well. They're successful at the moment. So Brisbane are gonna beat them 25 plus. I feel like at least a good 20 points. If not 6, if it's a close one, it'll at least be a good couple goals, I feel, though. So Brisbane will get the job done on Carlton. Next game, Hawthorn versus Gold Coast. Look, Gold Coast, you could argue and say they're better than Hawthorn, but at the same time, they're young, they're tired, they're not running out the games like they used to at the start of the year. I can see a reality where somehow Hawthorn gets the upset in a close game by 6 points. A slog of a game, but Hawthorn just get over the line. Because they need to give their fans some hope. I know that they've been at the top for too long, and you'd rather probably give the game to Gold Coast than Hawthorn, but look, they've got a premiership coach in Alistair Clarkson. They need to respond. If they do not win against the Gold Coast Suns, then that club is way far gone than what anyone could ever believe it is. And it already looks bad enough as it is. If they cannot beat the Gold Coast Suns, Hawthorn, you might as well fucking send them off to Greylands and throw away the key. Because it'll be a long time before they'll be able to ever come out of that again. Like, they look just crazy. They look crazy. Like, nowhere near their best. It just looks like old men, tired, beaten down, running around the field, like, not even caring, no heart in it anymore. Oh, we won 3 premierships, we'll be right, mate. We've done it all. Nothing to worry about. We've already done it, mate. Yeah. Like, Hawthorn, get your fucking shit together, mate. You still got fucking supporters, and you're embarrassing yourselves. You're really embarrassing yourselves, so get your shit together and beat the Gold Coast, at least by 6 points. If you can't do that, then no point even trying anymore. Axe all the oldies and fucking bring in some new talent. Like, there was no point even keeping Burgoyne around, and yet they've done it. So, see how he performs in the weekend. Yeah. Alright. Geelong versus Sydney. Straight out Geelong. I had weird feelings that an upset could happen with Sydney, which it could, but I'm going to go Geelong, and I'm going to say Geelong win by 48. They bounce back, they beat Sydney, and they do a number on them. I try to make a case for every team. Like, I want to be able to make a case for Sydney, like they beat GWS and other sides, but GWS has been shit, so yeah, no. Geelong are going to win that. They're going to bounce back. Hawkins is going to have a day out. He's going to fucking just clunk it. He's going to get it and just kick goals. Yeah, Sydney, another wasted year. So, back to the drawing board, eh? Alright, next game. As you can see, I'm wearing the hat. It's Fremantle versus Western Bulldogs. I don't have any hesitation on tipping this at all, but I'm going to say Fremantle. I'm going to say Fremantle by maybe a couple goals. The only reason I say this is because every single year Fremantle beat the Bulldogs at least once a year, Everyone's tipping the Bulldogs. Every single person I've seen on YouTube has tipped the Bulldogs. Not one person has actually tipped Fremantle, and that kind of shocks me. Because every single year, Fremantle beat the Bulldogs at least once a year. I know they lost last year by 40 at the end of the year, but at the start of the year, they beat them by like, fucking, I think it was 19 or... Yeah, there's just so many games. Like, Dockers have beat them, like, the last 11 times, like, out of fucking 12. Like, it's ridiculous how many times Fremantle's actually beat the Bulldogs. And Freo are in fucking ripping form at the moment. Like, they're not looking bad. They don't look terrible. As for a team outside of the finals hunt that, quote-unquote, have nothing to play for, they're playing for something. They're playing for respect. They're playing to give their fans hope. And I think that's the main thing that's going to happen here is people are going to go into this game, everyone, 84% versus 16%, all going to think, oh, yeah, the Bulldogs are making the 8, oh, yeah, they're going to go in and, or they might do 2016 all over again. Well, they're going to lose. They're going to lose this game. They're going to lose to Fremantle. I could see a reality where Bulldogs somehow get the win, but I think Freo win. And I feel a bit more confident on that. Even though I'm not always confident on Fremantle wins, I'm usually very, very, very skeptical, and I'm very pessimistic and negative when it comes to that. But this one I don't feel as bad on. I know we just beat North Melbourne, which is one of the shit sides, but it's got nothing to do with that. It's just the fact that we are always, every single year, this is a tradition. It's a tradition, a yearly tradition. We have to beat the Bulldogs. We just have to. And we have to end the season on a high. The Bulldogs are already mathematically a chance for the 8 anyway, even if they do fucking lose. So that's... Or maybe not, actually. Maybe not. So, yeah, Bulldogs will throw their all at them, but at the same time, I see Freo winning. Monday to have another ripper. Next game, Collingwood, Port, Adelaide. I should say Port, but nah. They're going to get upset by Collingwood. As bad as Collingwood have looked, De Goey's back. He's playing decent. Yeah, there's just some things that make me feel Collingwood will win. We'll see how they do. I'm going to tip Collingwood. Hopefully they do it. And, yeah. Hopefully it's a good round of footy, guys. Anyway, thank you for watching. And, talk to you later. Peace. Oh, wait. Like and subscribe. Do all that good stuff. And, yeah. I'll see you when I see you next. Which will hopefully be soon. Peace.